In the mid-1990s, Tyneside was the place to be in English football. World record transfer fees, iconic strips and an attacking style of play made the entertainers era unforgettable, despite the lack of silverware. Those who spent the prime of their careers in Newcastle during this period reflected on what it meant to represent the city.
That crowd was just, it lifted us. So there was times when I was playing for Newcastle in that season where I just felt, give me the ball and I'll score. And the crowd, I just felt them when and I'm playing well, right? So as soon as I got the ball, there's anticipation. And so they just lift you. Talk about a crowd really lifting you and a team. It was so true with Newcastle that year. It was bouncing. You couldn't go anywhere without seeing fans. They were chanting when I went in the movies.
Last October's £300 million Saudi-backed takeover has given supporters and reporters hope that these days can return. Covering Newcastle United during the Mike Ashley era became a chore, but fan optimism is a fever pitch once again.
I'd speak to other reporters on the patch who've been covering the club for years, who were on those European trips for the majority of the early 2000s and late 90s when Newcastle would regularly be going away, and just thinking how fun that would be and how brilliant that would be to be able to, from a selfish point of view in that sense, but also to see a club where just the feeling there's been over the last few months. I mean, Newcastle have only won one since the takeover, and yet there's been, until maybe the last week when things have started to go a bit downhill again in terms of maybe his mood in the frustration of the transfer window, there's been like this relentless positivity rather than the relentless negativity. It's been relentless positivity. And for me as a reporter, having people engaged when I write something, being able to go and interview people and people wanting to read that, people wanting to read about the players Newcastle are trying to sign.
If Kevin Keegan generated a wave of euphoria on Tyneside over a quarter of a century ago, expect a tsunami to erupt if the 67-year silverware curse is finally broken. Charlie Bennett, Sportsbite, Newcastle.